Today's lunch is green smoothie. We are actively trying to drink green smoothies every single day as our lunch just because it's so easy working from home and being in the Rona situation to eat unhealthy foods more easily just as comfort foods, I find, and we're trying to not get too soft. I have to work out more, but I don't know what's been wrong with me lately, and I've mentioned it before in briefly in some of my previous vlogs, but I've talked about it a whole lot on my Twitch live streams, which I'm currently taking a break from. I feel like I just need a little bit of a mental health break when it comes to being on social media, just because I found myself getting anxious and anxiety whenever I had to stream, which is just so unnecessary because my community, all you guys are so kind and fun to be around, but I just felt some sort of weird pressure to perform. And I don't know, I think I just need a mental health break. But anyway, we're trying to eat healthier, to stay fit, stay healthy, and whatnot during these times. Especially because getting regular physical activity is a little more difficult than it usually is. But yeah, I'm trying to be extra healthy lately because I've just been really exhausted. And I feel like it's been going on for the past 6 months. And I saw a tweet on Twitter yesterday, which was listing 15 signs of depression. And I pretty much had every single one of them. And I was like, yeah, I don't really like to talk about that kind of stuff too much on my vlogging channel or on social media because I feel like, people come to you on a vlog and on Twitch and stuff like that to cheer them up, they're watching vlogs to be cheered up and whatnot. So I try to steer away from talking too much about those things, but then I also believe that it's important to talk about these things to bring awareness to them. But anyway, for anyone who doesn't know, I have in the past been diagnosed with depression. It runs in my family. Pretty much all my relatives have it. It's very, very common in my family. Literally every relative I have has been diagnosed with depression. So it's very present in my lineage. And I was diagnosed with it back when I was 15 or 16. And I was actually medicated for it in the past. But I actively choose not to be medicated for it because I don't like the way the medication makes me feel, even though it does help treat the symptoms of depression and help with the chemistry in your brain. So basically, people, if you're not familiar, depression isn't necessarily something that is caused by unhappiness in life. Your life can be perfect. You can have everything you wanted. You can be in the perfect relationship, in the perfect house, in the perfect career. Everything can be going for you in your life, but your brain chemistry just goes off. It's unbalanced. And even though you're in this happy situation, your chemistry in your body tells you otherwise, right? So that's kind of what depression is. It's not necessarily caused by anything in particular. It's literally an imbalance in your chemistry in your brain. Anyway, so I actively choose not to be medicated for it because, one, it's expensive. It's really expensive for the medication for depression. And then also, I don't like how it makes me feel. So I always try to find other ways to manage my depression. And a lot of that is physical activity and diet. Those are the two main things that I choose to manage my depression. And it doesn't always help. It helps a little bit, but it doesn't get rid of depression fully for me, especially in times where it is a little more stressful in life, like right now because of the Rona. Life, you just don't know what's going to happen next month. It's very unbalanced, and I find that difficult. But anyway, I choose to do physical activity and eating healthy. Anyways, who would have thought that me talking about having a green smoothie would lead to me talking about depression? Oh my gosh, so good. Anyway, how about this setup? But here's the thing. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about it because I feel like I get all these kind of conversation points out on my live stream, and I find I neglect to discuss them in my actual vlog, which I need to remember that not all of you are tuned into my live stream. So basically, if you guys have been following me for a long time, you would know I'm the kind of person to kind of do a lot of research on my health as an alternative to seeking medication. Like, I'll still actively go to a doctor, but more often than not, a doctor simply wants to do a few things when it comes to women's health. They want to put you on birth control, or they want to change your birth control to help with your hormone regulation, to otherwise help with a lot of it's basically birth control is like a masking of female health concerns and symptoms. It's like an easy way for doctors to just kind of push a pill on you and claim that it's going to help all your medical issues and woos. So they'll either do that, or they'll just try to push a bunch of other pills on you, such as antidepressants, or they'll just simply write you off. They'll just say, you're stressed, you have anxiety, there's nothing you can do about it, right? So over the years, I have gone to the doctor a lot. Like, I'm always pro go to the doctor and ask for help, ask to look into things. And basically over the years, the things I've been diagnosed with is depression and IBS. I also have been diagnosed with stress and anxiety as well, but mild anxiety, nothing too crazy. And that's pretty much it. But alongside with that, I've also been diagnosed with someone who's deficient in a lot of nutrients, essential nutrients, such as vitamin Bs. I'm naturally deficient in vitamin Bs. My iron levels are always good. And I was doing a ton of research recently because I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. So this is what happened. I was doing a lot of research lately in hair loss because over the past 5 to 6 years, I've lost about 50% of my hair. And when I was originally going to the doctors in regards to these sort of topics, one thing I was told is that, oh, you're just stressed out. And that was kind of the done with it type thing. You just have stress. And I'm like, okay. And with my previous diagnosis with stress and anxiety, I actually was fainting a lot. Like, I was just randomly, like, I had maybe 2 or 3 years in my life where I was just randomly fainting, which is very concerning if you know. And I went to my family doctor about it multiple times, and I had a lot of tests done. I had MRIs, I had CAT scans. My brain was hooked up to all the wires where they scan your brain and whatnot. And it was ruled out to be just stress related. I was like, that kind of seems weird because I'm not at all stressed. You know, it was after high school. I was still living at home. My relationship was absolutely amazing. My diet was amazing. And there was nothing, I was working at like a salon, and it was a very casual, whatever, part-time job. There was nothing in my life to be stressed about. And I was done school too. So it was really unusual. And basically, like, I've just been linking things in my past to a lot of my medical conditions that I have and a lot of my symptoms and side effects. And what started to come up in my research, I know some of you guys don't believe in me doing like all this self-diagnosis and stuff, but I feel like it's important as someone who, like, I'm pro natural remedies, but if natural remedies don't work, seek pharmaceutical remedies, you know. And in my research to my hair loss led me down a rabbit hole of connecting issues in my life and symptoms in my life and where I'm at today with symptoms and conditions, and realizing that a lot of these might potentially be caused from the long-term side effects of being on the birth control pill. And I want to tell you guys and share this with you guys because there was a lot of things that came up in my research that I wish my doctors thoroughly warned me about. And I wish that at a young age I wasn't pressured and essentially forced to go on the pill early. I was put on the birth control pill when I was 14 years old by my mom. And back when you're 14, you don't really have a say in your doctor. Like, you're not legally an adult to make your own decisions. So what your parents decide for you to do medically, you don't really have a choice in it. It's like you have to do this because your legal guardian is saying you need to be put on this medication. So I've been on the birth control pill ever since I was 14 years old. And basically that's 13 to 14 years straight that I've been on artificial synthetic hormones. And what I didn't know is that the long-term negative side effects of being on synthetic hormones and the birth control pill are pretty much 100% of all the current conditions and ailments that I have to this day. And that, to me, is so so upsetting and off-putting. So I encourage you guys, if you've been on birth control for a long time, or if you are newly on birth control, the birth control pill and stuff like that, I really want to encourage you guys as women to do a ton of research into the negative long-term effects of it, because they're pretty much consistent in everyone I know. Like, I've talked to a lot of my friends since I did this research, and they're more or less consistent in all of my friends in my family I know that have been on birth control long term. My sister had these symptoms and stopped. My friends had these symptoms and stopped. And a lot of you guys from my stream, when I was talking to you about this, also agreed that you have these symptoms and either stopped taking the pill or are now concerned and considering going off of it. And what those symptoms are, they vary from person to person, and it's important to be self-aware and look into this yourself, and also seek medical assistance or second opinions or third opinions from multiple doctors. But basically, what these are is hair loss. And it doesn't directly cause hair loss being on the birth control pill for a long-term amount of years, but what the birth control pill actually does to you as women, which no doctor, at least in my experience, has ever told me, and I've been to many different doctors all over the world for birth control pills, and not a single one of them warned me that the birth control pill actually depletes you of essential nutrients, meaning you're going to be naturally depleted of B vitamins, which I was diagnosed with early on in my teen years. About 1 year after starting the birth control pill, I was diagnosed with being deficient in B vitamins. Suspicious, right? It also depletes you of iodine, which is an essential chemical component for your mental health, like for your actual brain function. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin C, and a ton of other vitamins and nutrients that are essential for maintaining proper brain function, hormonal balances in the body, and also helps you with your digestion and a lot of other things related to your health, including your skin and your hair and nail growth. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh wow, all of these nutrients that birth control depletes you of are things I'm known to be deficient in. And I'm like, okay, great, awesome, wonderful. And then I thought about the past, and when all these deficiencies started popping up in my life are literally 1 year after being on the birth control pill. Like, I remember being in grade 10, which was 1 year after, I think I was 15, when I started getting diagnosed with, I was 15, 16 when I started getting diagnosed with B vitamin deficiencies. And I also was suggested to be put on prescription grade B vitamins. I was like, that's suspicious. And if you're not already aware, deficiency in B vitamins is closely linked to signs of depression in people, which in the same year, I was also diagnosed with depression. Interesting, right? And then that's also when I started getting a weak immune system. I started getting a weak immune system around that 1 year part as well, when I was deficient in these said vitamins and whatnot. And it's just so wild. And that's also the same time frame where I started noticing my brittle nails. I used to always have healthy skin, healthy hair, and healthy nails. My hair was never dry. My nails were always strong. And then within like that same stage of my life is when my nails became really brittle and thin, to the point where my nails split, peeled, and just would break easily. Like, I would touch something and my nails would break. That's also when I started getting really, really dry hair, you know, and also when I started getting acne. And then, you know, what happens is, instead of, like, you guys, these are all negative side effects. These are not only negative side effects to being on the birth control pill, but also long-term negative side effects of being on the pill. So instead of my doctors just being like, maybe you shouldn't be on the birth control pill since everything that's suddenly wrong with you within 1 year of being put on this medication, instead of taking you off of it, we're just going to start medicating you for these side effects. So instead of removing the thing that was quite possibly causing all these negative side effects in me, instead of taking me off that medication, we're just going to start treating you for those side effects. What? Like, and instead of taking me off the pill, instead they started switching my pills up. So I would be every 3 months I was on a different artificial hormonal supplement. And if you know, changing your hormones in your body really messes with your head. It messes with your brain. Like, you're literally messing around with your body's natural physical chemistry. And it's just insane. And then they start putting me on antidepressant pills for being depressed, because I wonder why. Maybe because we're messing around with my literal physical chemistry of my brain and my body. Oh, it blows my mind. So basically, at a young age, I was diagnosed with all of these issues, quite literally within 1 year of being put on the birth control pill. So very, very suspicious. But, you know, as a young person, when you don't have a say in your own doctor visits, you think this is normal, right? And everyone's acting like it's normal. So you don't really question it. And then you kind of grow up thinking that this is how you normally are as a woman. You know, all these imbalances, all these difficulties, and you find out other girls have them. You think that's what it normally is to just be a girl. All these issues, all these ailments, all these headaches, all these pains, all these difficulties in your body. You think, oh, well, that's just normal because this is all I know. Ever since hitting puberty, if your parents put you on the birth control pill, this is all you know, right? It's so messed up. It's just so messed up. And then all your friends, like literally in high school, I think almost every single girl that I knew in my high school, and I came from a very small high school, everyone was on some form of hormonal birth control at that time. So you think this is normal, right? Insane. And then the long-term negative side effects of being like this with these deficiencies in essential minerals, with all these hormonal imbalances, like all of this stuff links to all these ailments that I have. And the first one is food intolerances. That's the first thing it can lead to. And I remember all these foods I used to be able to eat. Now I'm diagnosed with IBS a few years down the road. Like literally, like I started birth control in the beginning of high school. At the end of high school, when I was 19 years old, suddenly I have IBS, which is insane. I'm not 19 years old. It's not logical for someone so young to have all these difficulties digesting food. And that's because the birth control pill, with all its mineral deficiencies, all these vitamins and nutrients that it depletes you of, affects your stomach acid levels. So you no longer have the nutrients and the vitamins and minerals necessary to produce enough stomach acid levels, which in turn leads to apparently food intolerances, which, if not sorted out for a long period of time, can lead to IBS symptoms. Now, IBS doesn't really have a cure, and it's unknown why IBS happens to people. But then if you're depleted and not getting all these essential nutrients in your body to create proper stomach acid or chemical levels in your body, you're not able to break down food, and as a result, you're not able to get even more of the essential nutrients that you're supposed to get. And it's just this constant, like, you guys, I did a week of researching, like every single day I was researching this, and I was just like, mind is blown. My mind is just absolutely blown. And I think it's so important for other people to know these things so that they can realize if this is something that they should target and talk to their doctor about. Or even not talk to your doctor, just make the choice not to be on artificial hormones anymore, because it just messes you up. And not only that, so long term, it causes you to have food intolerances that you shouldn't have at a young age, and it can lead to you having IBS in the future, which can lead to you having hair loss because you're not getting enough essential nutrients to fuel proper hair growth for a long period of time, proper nail growth, proper skin, so dry skin, sensitive skin. This can all be caused by deficiencies in essential nutrients for a long period of time, like a long-term side effect of it. Oh my God. And a weakened immune system, being tired all the time and lethargic, like, and not only that, you guys, there's birth control pill is kind of like a double-edged sword when it comes to cancer even. So being on the pill can I think it said don't quote me on this, but I think I read somewhere like it can increase your chances of breast cancer by 20%, something stupid like that, a ridiculous number like that. And I'm like, hello? Like, what? And other types of cancer, it can increase your chances of, but then double-edged sword, it can also lower your chances of ovarian cancer. So, but still, like, what the hell, you know? And then there's also the risk of blood clots, which ever since I've been on the birth control pill, you guys, I have had the symptoms since I was 14 of blood clots, which is the weird heat in your limbs. So every time I come close to my cycle or I start my cycle, I literally get weird numbness in my limbs and my arms, and I just thought this was normal. Sweet, like blood clots, no problem. But like there's so many more things. I just wanted to share a little bit of my research with you guys. I know this was a long rant about the negative side effects of the birth control pill, but like literally everything that's wrong with me and all the things I've been diagnosed with are either the side effects of birth control or the long-term negative side effects of birth control. And it's just like all this time, 13-14 years of me being on this, just literally destroying my body, you know? And for what? Like, you know, it's just insane. So anyway, long story short, I have decided to go off the birth control pill. And yeah, it's a little bit scary considering the fact that I have been relying on it for 14 years of my life and I don't really know anything else. So I'm going to try to go off of it and see if I feel any better. But I do know, like, when I moved back to Canada, I did go off the pill for 10 months. And in those 10 months, like, I lost weight and I was able to maintain, scary bugs outside. I was able to maintain my weight easily. I was a lot leaner. I was a lot happier, I think, overall. But then again, it was only 10 months. It wasn't long enough at all to be off of it to make a huge difference. Because coming off the pill, you guys, like, one thing they tell you, doctors tell you, they're like, oh yeah, after 3 months of being off the pill, your hormones regulate. But they neglect to tell you that it can range anywhere from 3 months to years. And the long-term negative effects of birth control can also be early onset infertility. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of big influencers, female influencers who are super popular and young, are having fertility issues. Like, search up fertility journey on YouTube and you see all these women who aren't even 30 yet having difficulty getting pregnant, probably because they've been on the pill for too long. And doctors just don't tell you that it is a known side effect to result in fertility issues if you're on it too long, because it can take anywhere from 3 months to years for your hormones to regulate to what they naturally should be after you've been on it for so long. So it's like, okay, great, so I'm 28, am I going to have difficulty getting pregnant in the next, like, how many years when I am ready to get pregnant, you know? And it's just so many, it's just not worth it. Anyway, so I had this talk on stream, and like it was such a great conversation with everyone all realizing like, wow, what the hell, and like telling me their symptoms and that they feel the same way and they never thought to consider that maybe it is the negative side effects of birth control. And it's just like, I wanted to share it with you guys here because I think it's important to discuss these things. And I know it's not a popular thing to talk about. It's not a fun thing to talk about, but your health is important. And I think in the medical field, or even just in the world of healthcare, women are constantly turned away, overlooked, and just kind of shrugged off. Like, I've had the only time doctors have ever taken me seriously when I've had medical issues is when I'm to the point of tears and quite honestly forcing them to take me seriously, you know? And it shouldn't be like that, you know? Like, here we are, we're in pain, we're uncomfortable, you know, there's deficiencies, our hair is falling out, and they just tell you it's stress, when really the cause can be something right there in front of their faces, but they just shrug you. Like, tell me this, is it normal for a woman or anyone, is it normal for a human being to be fainting at random? Just normally? No, but it's stress. You know, for all it could have been blood clots cutting off my blood supply to my brain. Probably was that, you know, but they're just like, you must be stressed because your blood test is fine. Sorry for the rant. If you stuck around to the end, comment the pill so I know, just because it's interesting. I want to find out who stuck around to the end. It's been a long time since I had like a vlog rant, because I feel like I usually get that out in my streams nowadays, but it was fun talking. I hope that information helped you out. Thank you guys for watching the vlog. I upload weekly vlogs on this channel, so make sure you subscribe if you want to hang out with me and chat a little bit. And yeah, good luck on your health. I'm gonna drink my green smoothie, which you're probably wondering now, 10, 12, 20 minutes later after my long rant, what's in that green smoothie? It is a mixture of kale, lettuce, cucumber, carrots, protein powder, yogurt, almond milk, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice. Did I say cucumber already? Cucumber. Ginger is also in there. Some beans, like a tablespoon of beans mixed with quinoa for added fiber. And I think that's it.